The White House is standing by President Donald Trump's unsubstantiated claim that millions of people voted illegally in the November election.
The president does believe that. He has stated that before. I think he stated his concerns of voter fraud and people voting illegally during the campaign. And he continues to maintain that belief based on studies and evidence that people have presented to him.
Press Secretary Sean Spicer doubling down on the president's claim, but repeatedly unable to point to evidence that backs up the charge that has been debunked by Republicans and Democrats alike.
You said the president believes that there was voter fraud. I wonder if you believe that. You were at the Republican National Committee at the time, and Chief of Staff Reince Priebus was the chairman of the RNC at the time. Do you believe there was widespread voter fraud?
My job is not, look,
how can he be comfortable with his win if he believes
he's very
there
comfortable
was
with his
3
win.
million votes? Maybe he didn't win.
No, he's very comfortable with his win. It's an electoral-based system. He got 306 electoral votes. 33 of 50 states voted for him. I think, look, Jeff, I've asked and answered this question twice. He believes what he believes based on the information he's provided. Yes, ma'am.
What does that mean for democracy, though, Sean? What does that
Thanks,
mean?
Jeff.
If he does believe that, what does that mean for democracy?
It means
Sean?
that I've answered your question.
Have you?
The allegations of voter fraud, which Trump has repeatedly made before taking office, surfaced again after the president repeated that claim Monday night while meeting with congressional leaders at the White House.
No, I think he won very, very handily. He's very comfortable with his win.
But he doesn't sound like it. He won the Electoral College but lost the popular vote by nearly 3 million. He charged that 3 to 5 million people voted illegally, a claim as unsubstantiated as when he first made it after the election. But now it carries the weight of the presidency. To back up the allegations, his advisors have pointed to a 2012 study by the Pew Center. It found nearly 3 million people have voter registrations in more than one state, and nearly 2 million people are listed as dead. But the study made no finding of voter fraud, which election officials from both sides have dismissed. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said if Trump believes it, he should disclose his proof and ask for an investigation, telling CNN's Mani Raju such allegations erode the president's credibility.
So I would urge the president to knock this off. This is the greatest democracy on earth. You're the leader of the free world, and people are going to start doubting you as a person.
From the White House podium, Spicer left open the door to launching an investigation, but repeatedly brushed aside questions from reporters.
There is no investigation. I said it was possible. Anything is possible. It was a hypothetical question. My point to you is that to ask us on day 2, he made a comment last night on something that he has believed and said for a long, long time.
Even as he gets to work laying out his agenda, Trump is still on a quest to prove his legitimacy. The exchange came on the 4th full day of Trump's presidency, overshadowing his executive actions to revive the Keystone Pipeline and clear the way for the Dakota Access Pipeline. 2 more reversals of the Obama administration. The president said today he is closing in on his first Supreme Court nomination to replace the year-long vacant seat of former Justice Antonin Scalia.
Sometime next week, I'll be making my decision. We'll pick a truly great Supreme Court justice.